Welcome back, guys. In honour of the new released BBC series War of the Worlds, I have of course decided to review the 2005 Tom Cruise movie War of the Worlds. I will get back to the TV series, but until I do, enjoy. Where to begin? Well, Tom plays a container operator down at the docks. He has a nice car and is a semi-bad father. I must admit, I thought at one stage that somehow Tom driving a container lifter would become a thing in the movie. I imagined him fighting an alien walker inside a container lifter down at the docks. I don't know why. I felt that's what would happen. It felt like a Tom Cruise thing to happen. But anyways, back to the story. His heavily pregnant ex-wife or ex-girlfriend is waiting outside his house with her new partner and Tom's 2 kids. A little girl, Rachel, with the intelligence of a 16-year-old, and a boy, Robbie, who is meant to be a teenager, who loves metal and doesn't like doing his homework. However, he looks like he's in his 20s, and yes, in real life, during this film, he is 23 years old. Nice casting, guys. Anyways, the mother departs. Actually, can I focus on the mother for a second? It implies up to this point that Tom is a semi-bad dad. But it's mostly because of his late arrival to pick up his kids and the indifference his kids have towards him. But we should also be open to the fact that the mother has been bad-mouthing him. Now, I'm not like standing up for Tom, or should I say the character of Ray in this situation, but we're judging him too quickly on the mere reactions of, well, I don't know. Did she cheat on him because she looks pregnant? I don't know. I'm getting sidetracked. So the kids are left with Tom. Okay. After Tom falls asleep, after a long day of work, he wakes up and he finds out that, Robbie has stolen his car. I mean, come on. I'm thinking it's the mom and the new man who had the bad parents. Because, Robbie has, zero respect for Ray at this stage. So, he's definitely not learning anything from Ray. And, he stole a car. He kind of comes across as a very spoiled brat who is ungrateful and forever playing the victim when it suits him. Did I mention I like this movie? I'm just saying I do like this movie. It's just, I'm a big Tom Cruise fan, so I'm maybe slightly standing up for him here because he's getting a hard go of it right now, and I want to make sure that he's represented. Anyways, moving back to the story of the movie, a big lightning storm starts to erupt around the area, and soon after the power shuts down, forcing Ray to go searching for Robbie. He finds him. He semi-threatens him. Yeah, that's what you get, Robbie, for stealing a car. It was unjustified. And Ray heads off down to town to find out what's going on. He and many others in town start to gather around a hole in the ground. Everyone loves this hole, it seems. Suddenly the ground starts to crack and people start to run. And they run even faster when the ground sinks and a great machine emerges. And a great alien machine that's the size of a skyscraper stands above them. No, they don't run. They stand there and they look at it. Why would you stand and look at it? I mean, this must be just a movie thing, because until the alien trumpet goes off inside the ship, they just stare at it. And I understand it's this mysterious object, they've never seen it before, but do people really do that in real life? Or do people run away? Do people follow their instinct to survive? You know, it's moments like this that I kind of believe that people are hoping to, like, be granted a wish or to gain some form of superpower if they wait around long enough. Otherwise, I don't know why they're waiting to be killed. I mean, run, you fools. Fly, you fools. Get out of there. It's obviously gonna kill you. Well, at any rate, the aliens in their big walker machines start to kill people, exploding them into dust. Oh, and now they run. Jackasses. This is when Tom Cruise starts to run. And my God, does he run. Like a beautiful, short gazelle. He runs down that street. People exploding. It's beautiful. Then Tom is back with his kids in the house. Tom, or Ray. Sorry, I have a habit of using Tom instead of Ray. Accept them as the same person. Ray gets home and he gets his kids together and they escape in a stolen car. And along the way they try to avoid people as best they can, and that's it until they reach the ex-wife's or ex-girlfriend's house, where he hopes, well, he can dump the kids with her. Now, I know this doesn't shine a good light on Tom in respect to being a good dad, but I argue that he doesn't really have the resources to look after the kids right now, so they are the better option. But they fall asleep in the basement. Good job, Tom. Sorry, Ray. Ray. I can't help myself. Until a massive explosion happens outside the house. When day breaks, they discover a plane has crashed, conveniently outside the house. Alright, not conveniently, but unfortunately has crashed outside the house. And after some information was given from a well-informed reporter, they hit the road. And during this car ride, Robbie mumbles, "If you had the balls, we would go back and kill one of them things." I mean, seriously, Robbie, where is that coming from? This was so out of character for him, like a complete departure from his age bracket. This, of course, leads to the scene where Rachel has to go for a pee. She witnesses the river full of bodies, and of course Robbie used this moment to run towards a military convoy, and pleads them to take them with him. And I'm like, hold up a second. For one, it's been, what, 24 hours since the event? And he's announcing to Ray that we got to get back at them. As if he's some kind of trained military soldier on leave or something. Like, he's starting to act more like a 23-year-old than a 16-year-old. So, I'm sorry. You have to make a decision, guys, when you're writing a script for a character who's meant to be playing 16. You can't all of a sudden give him the traits of a 23-year-old. It just doesn't work that way, okay? And I'm sorry, he doesn't look 16 either. I know with enough makeup he does somewhat look young, but when the light hits him a certain way, you can see the kind of chiseled jaw of a 20-something-year-old man. I'm sorry. Very bad casting on this one. Before people start to think I've got something against Robbie, I don't, okay? I've got issues with characters like this. Okay. And also, he's in no way informed enough to feel brave enough against these aliens. Like, what's he going to do? Run at them? Look at them and then run away? I mean, come on, Robbie. In the next scene, after Robbie's little fit, Robbie is driving. Come on, Ray. Don't let the boy who tried to run away with the military drive the car. Jeez Maries. Well, of course, Robbie somehow drives the car into a mob of desperate people all looking for a car. I mean, to hell, Robbie. Then the rest of the scene kind of explodes into some kind of zombie movie because they start to attack the car, bursting through the glass with bare hands, no doubt. And there's no blood at all, so these people must be zombies or some genetically altered humans that don't bleed when they punch glass. Until Ray pulls out his gun. Oh, I forgot to mention, Ray has a gun. He has a gun in his house that he takes with him before they leave the house in the very first act of the movie. He pulls the gun and he tells everyone to back off. Now, I had to laugh in this scene because at least two people in the crowd, or the mob, announce there's no need for that. And I'm going, are you kidding me? There's no need for that. You two people, I'm pointing at you two people, you were punching your fist through the glass of his car, trying to steal the car and trying to kill them. And you're telling Ray that he's going over the top with the gun. I mean, come on, guys. I mean, come on. So anyways, they lose the car. And, well, good job, Robbie. That's what you get for driving into a town full of people. So they travel on foot and join the lines of refugees heading towards a ferry. And this is where the delightful train scene happens. Now, I love this concept. It truly represented the state of things. A fully functional train zipping by, completely on fire. We are truly in movie land, and for some reason, no one panics or reacts. Apparently, it's a very common sight to see a train on fire. Have they seen many trains on fire recently? I don't know. Maybe they have. So this horde of indifferent people, including Tom Cruise and his family, continue towards the overcrowded ferry port. Of course, not noticing the god-sized alien walker coming from behind. I mean, seriously. No one's looking behind at all. Everyone just seems to notice at once. The lack of paranoia and survival tactics with these people, I mean, no wonder the aliens aren't having a hard time taking over. Well, everyone starts to bum rush the ferry, but I ask myself, do you think it's a good idea to get on the ferry right now? I don't think it is. I think it's a very bad idea to get on a very slow ferry to escape an alien walker. I mean, scatter, jump into the water, swim away, hide under something, anything but get on the slow ferry. But of course, Ray, Rachel and Robbie get on the ferry. And they escape the walker, it seems, on the land. For about 10 seconds, until an underwater alien walker erupts from the river, knocking over the ferry. And for some reason, people are still inside cars. Why are you inside your car on the ferry? Now, I understand you have a functional car, and you're trying to protect your car while you go across. Understandable, but you do have a key. Can't you lock your car? Get out of your car and not drown inside your car. But I had to admit to myself, they probably died in a very, well, they died in a more agreeable way than other people died in the movie. I mean, compared to being sucked up into an alien machine, which will happen very soon, and be spewed out as globs of blood, I think dying in a river inside a car was probably a good death. I know that might sound messed up, but I'm trying to balance which is the worst way to go. And I think, yeah, drowning in a river inside a car or being sucked dry by a machine, I'm going to go with the car. But that's just me. That's just me. We then witness, for the first time, the alien walkers take people, not kill them, but take, in a mysterious way, which I just ruined 10 seconds ago. By the morning, Robbie, our so-called John Connor, well, inside his head he's John Connor, he sees another military convoy arrive and instantly rushes after them. I mean, why? What are you going to do this time? What? Nothing. I often thought this is something designed to help teenagers to relate to these movies, allowing them to imagine that they would do the same thing. They're all born freedom fighters. And of course, Ray tries to stop him, but Robbie just says, "You need to let me go." Please let him go. Ray, let Robbie go. He's gonna get you killed, okay? He's gonna get you killed. Now, he should have died. Big style. But he won't. We all know Robbie will survive. But a big explosion happens. Alien walkers on fire come barging over the hill. And Ray and Rachel find refuge with Tim Robbins' character, Harlan. Probably not the best idea, but needless to say, Tim is great in this scene. He plays a great character of a broken, paranoid ex-ambulance driver. I mean, what a combo. That's fantastic. Only Tim Robbins can play such a combo of a character. And unfortunately, he drives Ray up the wall with his paranoia. Unfortunately for Ray and Rachel, they are not safe. During their stay, they witness horrible things, and during I want to call this not an outstanding, but a standout scene, the aliens themselves enter the room looking around. And even though this scene is brief, you definitely get a little sense of who these aliens were. Curious, for sure. Militant, yes. Indifferent to humans? Well, wouldn't you be if you needed the planet? But I thought it was a really cool scene. It was nice CGI. And the design for the aliens was very detailed, and it kind of give you an insight into their evolution, which was kind of cool. Unfortunately, not soon after this, they started to spray blood of humans all over the land, outside the house that they're hiding in some kind of twisted terraforming of the planet. This drives Harlan, Tim Robbins' character, absolutely loopy, and Ray is forced to kill him, to shut him up, because Harlan is screaming. Poor Tim Robbins. Poor Tim. We are near the end. At some point, the aliens come back into the house while Ray and Rachel are sleeping, and all panic breaks loose. Ray loses Rachel, and when he does find her, for some reason, she's standing in the middle of a field for everyone to see her. I mean, why? No bushes, no trees, no nothing. This girl is tiny. She could fit inside a large bucket. And yet, she stands in the middle of a field for everyone to see her. Don't do another Robbie. I mean, I haven't said anything bad about Rachel yet, and yet I don't want to call her a Robbie, because Robbie was such a letdown up to this point. However, grabbing random grenades that are left over by the military convoy, Tom attacks the giant walker, which is now sucking up his child. He gets lifted up and sucked up too. And finally, we're up close and personal with the walker. After more panic, a tentacle starts to grab people from within inside the holding cage Ray and Rachel are in. Protecting Rachel, Ray puts himself in the way of the tentacle, not before grabbing a bunch of grenades that are conveniently within reach. And, well, actually, I'm going to stop on that one. How did grenades get into that cage? I mean, if weaponry can get through their screening process when they take up humans, why haven't more military men blown up more ships? It just makes no sense. There was a reference earlier on in the movie that somehow Japan or a country like that had somehow killed a few of them. I imagine this implies some form of classical suicide bombing. I don't know. It's just a curious thing that they have no weapon filter system. Because then we would have been winning in some respect. Well, not winning, but we would have killed a few. But we didn't. So I don't know why suddenly they would allow a bunch of grenades past their security screen. Maybe they were already feeling the effects of the sickness. Oh, did I spoil the end of the movie? Maybe. Well, anyways, he gets sucked up by the tentacle, and in this moment, all the people inside the cage grab onto his hand and start to pull him down, trying to save his life. When they pull him out, you realise that he's taken all the pins out of the grenades, and, well, the walker explodes and kills it, and everyone inside the cage falls and all survive. But I have to remark though, when Tom and Rachel were in the cage initially, in the first place, a man is sucked up. No one else in the cage really tries to save him. Why did they all gang together and save Tom? I mean, it's so unfair. I mean, it's fantastic that they did, and it's fantastic that Tom coincidentally had some grenades, but I mean, it looks like they could have saved everybody all the time, so long as they all worked together. Because it doesn't look like the aliens had any other device in that cage apart from the arm. So I don't understand what would make them not help other people. So the cage and that tentacle are kind of an ineffective way of grabbing people. So long as everyone works together, it's all good. But anyways, so Ray and Rachel have survived, and the next scene shows them walking on with a bunch of people through the backdrop of a city. And finally, with the help of some birds that are flying on a nearby walker, we discover that the walker's shields are down, and the military can finally save the day. They did it. Congratulations, military. You did it. You nailed it. Thanks to some birds flying on top of the ships that no one else notices apart from Ray. Like, I mean, seriously, why is no one else noticing these things apart from a girl, a container driver, lifter guy? I mean, seriously, come on. Look up. Look around. Tom and Rachel make their way to the ex-wife's parents' house, which I think is where they were going in the end. And somehow, none of them have been affected in any way. Oh. And of course, our little John Connor, Robbie, has survived too. Yay! How did he find his way to that house? I will never know. I will never know. The aliens, of course, were killed in the end because of the single-cell organisms that live on our planet, and it seems that we as humans have evolved to live or co-live with this single-cell organism, and the aliens did not, and they died after a week. But one has to wonder, though, if they've been planning this for 1,000,000 years, or for however how long them ships are buried, why have they done no prep work on our planet? None at all. Why wouldn't they wear biosuits? I get it, their ships were perhaps the large biosuits, but why get out of the ships? Why drink the water? Why eat the food? I mean, Morgan Freeman explained it at the end, but because he does the voiceover at the end of the movie, but I don't understand why they were so ill prepared for our planet. It makes no sense at all. But I think it's just the ironic nature of the over-prepared alien species, and yet at the same time overlooking a simple fact of biology. Well, that's my review, or should I say discussion, about War of the Worlds. It was somewhat nearly a step-by-step process through the entire movie, but I wanted to add some of my own little insights and opinions about the movie, and I think I expressed how I felt about Robbie. I think we all know how I feel about Robbie now. All jokes aside, I give this movie a solid 7.5 out of 10. It would be an 8, but there's certain elements that did bug me. Mostly logic and characterization. So yeah, decent movie, a classic Tom Cruise movie, and I highly recommend that you watch, because it's got some decent scenes in it. Well, thanks guys. If you like my video, please subscribe. If you want to comment, please do. I hope to be releasing another movie type review like this in about maybe 3 days. Thanks once again for listening. I hope you have a good day. See you later.